Out of here!
My Betty, not
Out of here! Out of my sight! Betty, dear child, will you wake? Will you open up your eyes?
Uncle, Susanna Walcott's here from Dr. Griggs.
Oh, let her come, let her come.
Come in, Susanna.
What does the doctor say, child?
He bid me come and tell you, Reverend Sir, that he cannot discover no medicine for it in his books.
Then he must search on.
Aye, sir. He have been searching since he left you, sir. But he said you could look to unnatural things.
No! No, there be no unnatural cause here. Tell him I have sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly, and that they will surely confirm that. Let him look to medicine for the cause and put out all thought of a natural cause. There be none.
Speak nothing of it in the village, Susanna.
Go directly home and speak nothing of a natural cause.
Aye, sir. I pray for her.
Uncle, the rumor of witchcraft is all about. I think you best go out and deny it yourself. I'll sit with her.
And what shall I say to them? That my niece and my daughter I discovered dancing like heathen in the forest.
Uncle, we did dance. Let you tell them I confessed it. And I'll be whipped if I must be, but they're speaking of witchcraft. Betty's not witched.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know you have not opened with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle. And when you leaped out of the bush so suddenly, Betty was frightened and then she fainted, and there's the whole of it.
Shall I sit you down?
I would never hurt Betty. I love her dearly.
Now look, you child. Your punishment will come in its time. But if you trafficked with spirits in the forest, then I must know it now, for surely my enemies will, and they will ruin me with it.
But we never conjured spirits.
Then why can she not move herself since midnight? This child is desperate. No, it must come out. My enemies will bring it out. Abigail, do you understand that I have many, many enemies?
I have heard of it, Uncle.
There be a faction here, sworn to drive me from my pulpit. Do you understand that?
I think so, sir.
Now, in the midst of such disruption, my own household is discovered to be the very center of some obscene practice. Abominations are done in the forest.
Hey, we're sport,
You call us
Uncle!
sport! Abigail, if you know something that may help the doctor, then for God's sake tell it to me. I saw Tituba waving her arms over the fire. Why was she doing that? And there was screeching and gibberish coming from her mouth.
She always sings her Barbados songs and we dance.
I cannot blink what I saw, Abigail, for my enemies will not blink it. Abigail, I have fought 3 long years to bend these stiff-necked people to me. And now, just now, when there must be some good respect for me rising in the parish, you dare compromise my very character? I have given you a home, child. I have put clothes on your back. Now, give me an upright answer. Your name in the town, it is entirely white, is it not?
Why, I'm sure it is, sir. There be no blush about my name.
Abigail, is there any other cause than what you have told me for Goody Proctor discharging you of her service?
She hates me, Uncle. She must, for I would not be her slave. It is a bitter woman, a lying, cold, sniveling woman, and I will not work for such a woman.
And yet it has troubled me that you are now 7 months out of their household, and in all this time, no other family has called for your service.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. My name is good in the village. Goody Proctor is a gossiping liar!
Oh, no, I cannot have anyone... Good morning, Miss Putnam. Come in.
It is a marvel. It is surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, it's not a stroke of hell.
How high did she fly?
No,
How
she
high?
never flew.
Why, it's sure she did. Mr. Collins saw her going over Ingersoll's barn. Light as a bird,
No, look,
she
you
says.
Goody Putnam, I will not... Good morning, Mr. Putnam.
It is a providence the thing is out now. It is a
What is out,
providence.
sir? What is out?
Why, her eyes is closed. Look you, Anne.
Why, that's strange. Ours is open.
Your Ruth is sick?
I would not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know. It's death, driving into them, forked and hooked.
Oh, I pray not. Why, how does your Ruth ail?
She ails as she must. She never waked this morning, yet her eyes open. She sees not, hears not. She cannot eat. Her soul, it's taken, surely.
They say you've sent for Reverend Hale.
A precaution only. They have much experience in all
They
demonic
do,
art.
indeed. And found a witch in Beverly. Now let you remember
Nobody,
that.
Anne, they only thought that were a witch, and I'm certain of it. There be no element of witchcraft here.
No, witchcraft. Look you, Mr. Paris.
Thomas, I pray you, leap not to witchcraft.
Anne, tell Mr. Paris what you have done.
Mr. Paris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in the earth. And I've lost every single one. And now my Ruth, my only... I see her turning strange. A secret child she has become. Like a secret life worth pulling on her life too. And so, I thought I'd send her to your Tituba. Tituba knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. Paris.
Goody Anne, it is a formidable sin to conjure
And
up
I
the dead.
take it upon myself, but who else may figure out what person murdered my babies?
Woman!
They were murdered, Mr. Paris! And mark this for proof, mark it for my Ruth were ever so close to their little spirits. I know it, sir. For how else is she struck dumb now except for some power of darkness that would shut her mouth too? It is a marvelous sign.
Don't you understand it, sir? There is a murdering witch among us, bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will. You cannot blink it more.
So you were conjuring spirits last night in the forest.
Not I, sir. Tituba and Ruth.
Oh, Abigail, what proper payment for my charity? Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft.
In my house, Thomas. They will topple me with it. They will make...
Your pardons. I only thought to see how Betty is.
Why aren't you home? Who's with Ruth?
Her grandma come. She's improved a little, I think. She give a powerful sneeze before.
There's a sign of life.
I'd worry no more, Goody Putnam. It were a grand sneeze. Another like it will shake her wits together, I'm sure.
Would you leave me, Thomas? I would pray a while alone.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why'd you not go out
No. I have no answer for that crowd. I'll wait till Hale arrives. Now, if you will, Goody Anne...
Look, you, sir. Let you strike out against the devil, and the village will bless you for it. Come, speak to them. Pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you'll pray with them.
I'll lead them in a song. But let you say nothing of witchcraft yet. I will not discuss it. The cause is yet unknown. I have had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth, do you hear?
Aye.
If she starts for the window, cry for me at once.
I will, Uncle. How is Ruth sick?
It's weirdish. I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night.
Betty? Now stop this, Betty. Sit up. Now.
Have you tried beating her? I gave Ruth a good one last night and it seemed to wake her for a minute. Here, let me at her.
No! He'll be coming up. Listen now. If they be questioning us, tell them we danced. I told them such already.
Aye, and what more?
He knows Tituba conjured Ruth's sisters.
Psst. What do we do? The village is out. I just come from the farm. The whole country's talking witchcraft. They'll be calling us witches, Abby.
She means to tell, I know it.
Abby, we've got to tell. Witchery's a hanging error. A hanging like they done in Boston 2 years ago. Abby, we must tell the truth. You'll only be whipped for dancing and the other things.
Oh, we'll be whipped.
I never done none of it, Abby. I only looked.
Oh, and you're a great one for looking, aren't you, Mary Warren? What a grand peeping courage you have.
Betty? Now, Betty, dear, wake up. It's Abigail. I'll beat you, Betty! My, you seem improving. I talked to your papa. I told him everything. So there's nothing to worry about.
I want my mama.
What ails you, Betty? Your mama's dead and buried.
I'll fly to mama. Let me fly.
I told him everything. He knows now. He knows everything we did.
You drank blood, Abby. You didn't tell him that.
Betty, you never say that again. You will never.
You did. You did. You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife. You drank a charm to kill Goody Proctor.
Shut it. Now shut it. Now look, you. All of you. We danced. And Tituba conjured Ruth Putnam's sisters, and that is all. And mark this. Let either of you breathe a word, or the edge of a word about the other things, and I'll come to you in the black of some terrible night, and I'll bring a pointy reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I saw Indians smash my dear parents' heads on the pillow next to mine, and I've seen some reddish work done at night. And I can make you wish you had never seen the sun go down. Now you, sit up and stop this.
Oh, Mr. Proctor, I'm just going home.
Be you foolish, Mary Warren? Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house, did I not? Why, I'm looking for my cows more often than I'm looking for you.
I only come to see the great doings in the world.
I'll show you a great doing for my belt one of these days. Now get you home. My wife is waiting with your work.
I'd best be off. I have my Ruth to look after. Good day, Mr. Proctor.
What's this mischief here?
Oh, she's only gone silly somehow.
The townsman in witchcraft.
Oh, posh. We were dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle leaped in on us. She took fright is all.
You're a wicked one, aren't you? You'll be clapping the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John, a soft word.
No, Abby, that's done with.
You come 5 miles to see a silly girl fly? I know you better.
I come to see what mischief your uncle's brewing now. Put it out of mind, Abby.
John, I'm waiting for you every night.
Abby, I never give you hope to wait for me.
I have something better than hope, I think.
Abby, you'll put it out of mind. I won't be coming for you more.
You're surely sporting with me.
You know me better.
I know you clutched my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. Or did I dream that? It's she who put me out. You cannot pretend it were you. I saw your face when she put me out. You loved me then, and you do now.
Abby, that's a wild thing to say.
A wild thing may say wild things, but not so wild, I think. I have seen you since you put me out. I have seen you in the nights.
I have hardly stepped off my farm this 7 month.
I have a sense for heat, John, and yours has drawn me to my window. And I have seen you looking up and burning in your loneliness. Do you tell me you've never looked up at my window?
I may have looked up.
Aye, and you must. You are no wintry man. I know you, John. I know you. I cannot sleep for dreaming. I cannot dream, but I'll awake and walk about the house as though I'd find you coming through the door.
Child!
How'd you call me child?
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, but I will cut off my hand before I ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of mind. We never touched.
Aye, but we
Aye,
did.
but we did not.
Oh, I marvel how such a strong man may let such a sickly
You will
wife...
speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackening my name in the village. She is telling lies about me. She is a cold, sniveling woman, and you beg to her. Let her turn you
Do you look for a whipping?
No, I look for John Proctor, who took me from my sleep and put knowledge in my heart. I never knew what a pretend Salem was. I never knew all the lying lessons I was taught by these Christian women and their coveted men. And now you bid me tear the light out of my eyes. I will not. I cannot. You loved me, John Proctor, and whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, pity me. Pity me. Betty!
Girl, stop that wailing!
What happened? What's going on? What did
She
you
heard
do to
you
her?
singing in such songs.
Straight out to hear the Lord's name.
No, God forbid.
Mark it for
Percy,
proof,
why don't you
mark
also
it.
tell him what's happened
That
here?
is a notorious sign of witchcraft of a goody knows a prodigious sign.
My mother always...
Oh, Rebecca, go to her. We are lost. She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
What is happening?
What's Giles doing here?
There is a hard sickness here, Giles Corey, so please to keep the quiet.
I've not said a word. No one here can testify I've said a word. Is she going to fly again? I hear she flies.
Man, be quiet now.
What have you done?
What do you make of it, Rebecca?
Goody nurse, will you go to my Ruth and see if you can wake her?
I think she'll wake in time. Pray, calm yourselves. I have 11 children, and I'm 26 times a grandma, and I've seen them all through their silly seasons. And when it come on them, they will run the devil bow-legged, keeping up with their mischief. I think she'll wake when she tires of it. A child's spirit is like a child. You can never catch it by running after it. You must stand still, and for love, it will soon itself come back.
Aye, that's the truth of it, Rebecca.
This is no silly season, Rebecca. My Ruth, she cannot eat. She's bewildered.
Perhaps she's not hungered yet. I do hope you don't go in search of loose spirits, Mr. Paris. I've heard promise of that outside.
There is a rumor running about the parish that the devil may be among us, and I would satisfy them that they are wrong.
Then let you come out and call them wrong. Did you consult the wardens before you called this minister in to look for devils?
They are not coming to look for
Then
devils.
what are they looking for?
There'd be children dying in the village, mister.
I see none dying. This society will not be a bag to swing around your head, Mr. Putnam. Did you call a meeting before you...
I'm sick of meetings. Cannot the man turn his head without he have a meeting?
Reverend, I think you best send Mr. Hale back as soon as they come. This will set us all to arguing again in the society, and I think we ought to have a little bit of peace this year. I think we ought to rely on the doctor now and good prayer.
The doctor is baffled.
If so he is, then let us go to God for the cause of it. There's prodigious danger in the seeking of loose spirits. I fear it. I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves.
How that we blame ourselves? I am one of 9 sons, the Putnam seat of people of this province. And yet I have but one child left of 8. And now she shrivels.
I cannot fathom that.
But I must. You think it's God's work? You should never lose a child nor a grandchild. And I bury all but one. There's wheels within wheels in the village, fires within fires.
When Reverend Hale arrives, you'll proceed to look for signs of witchcraft here.
You cannot command, Mr. Paris. We vote by name in the society, not by acreage.
I never heard you so worried on this society, Mr. Proctor. I do not think I saw you at Sabbath meetings since snow flew.
I have trouble enough with that. I come 5 miles to hear and preach only hellfire and bloody damnation. But take it to heart, Mr. Paris. There are many others who stay away from church these days because you hardly mention God anymore.
Why, that is a drastic charge.
It's somewhat true. There are many that quail to bring their children to your...
I do not preach for the children, Rebecca. For it is not the children who are unmindful of their obligations toward this ministry. I cannot offer one proposition, but there will be a howling riot of arguments. I have often wondered if the devil were in it somewhere. I cannot understand you people otherwise.
Mr. Paris, you are the first minister ever did the man the deed to the house.
Man, don't a minister deserve a house to live in?
To live in, yes, but to ask ownership is like you should own the meeting house itself. But the last meeting I were at, you spoke so long on deeds and mortgages, I thought it were an auction.
I want a market confidence, that is all. I am your 3rd minister in 7 years. You people seem not to comprehend that a minister is the Lord's man in a parish. A minister is not to be so lightly crossed and contradicted. There's either obedience or the church will burn like hell's burning.
Can you speak 1 minute without we land in hell again?
It is not for you to decide what is good for you to
I
hear.
may speak my heart, I
There
think.
be a faction. I am not blind. There be a party and a faction.
Against you?
Against him and all authority.
Right, then I must find it and join it.
Oh, he does not mean that.
He confessed it now.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of this authority.
No, you cannot break charity with your minister. You are another kind, John. Just clasp his hand and make your peace.
I have a crop to sow and lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? Let's find this party. He says there's a party.
I've changed my opinion of this man, John. Mr. Paris, I beg your pardon. I never thought you had so much iron in you.
Why, thank you, Giles.
Now come along, Giles, and help me drag my lumber home.
A moment, Mr. Proctor. What lumber is that you're dragging, if I may ask you?
My lumber from out my forest by the riverside.
Why, we are surely gone wild this year. What anarchy is this? That tract is in my bounds. It's in my bounds, Mr.
In your
Proctor.
bounds, I bought that tract from Goody Nurse's husband 5 months ago.
He had no right to sell it. It stands clear in my grandfather's will that all the land is
Your
the river
grandfather
and...
had a habit of willing land that never belonged to him, if I may say it plain.
That's God's truth. He nearly willed away my north pasture, but he knew I'd break his fingers before he'd set his name to it. Let's get your lumber home, John. I feel sudden will to work coming on.
You load one oak of mine, and you'll fight to drag it home.
Aye, and we'll win too. Come on.
I'll have my men on you, Corey.
Great,
I'll clap a
someone
writ on
take
you.
these.
Reverend Hale, it is good to see you again. Oh, my, these are heavy.
They must be. They are weighed with authority.
You do come prepared.
We shall need hard study if it comes to tracking down the old boy. You cannot be Rebecca Nurse.
I am. Do you know me?
We have all heard of your great charities in Beverly.
Do you know this gentleman? This is Thomas Putnam and his good wife Anne.
Putnam, I had not expected such distinguished company, sir.
Does not seem to help us today, Reverend. We ask you to come to our house and save our child.
Your child ails too?
Her soul, it's flown away. She never
She
went
cannot
this-
eat.
Cannot eat. Do you men have afflicted children?
No, these are farmers.
He
John
don't believe in witches.
I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Will you come now, Giles?
No, John, I think not. I have some few queer questions of my own to ask this fellow.
I hear you be a sensible person, Reverend Hale. I hope you leave some of it in Salem.
Will you please come look at my daughter? She tried to leap out the window.
Tries to fly.
She cannot bear to hear the Lord's name, Reverend Hale. That's a sure sign of
No,
witchcraft
no.
afloat.
Now, let me instruct you. We cannot look to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are definite as stone, and I must tell you all that I shall not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me, should I find no bruise of hell upon her.
It is agreed. It is agreed. We will abide by your judgment.
Good then. Now, sir, what were your first warning of this strangeness?
I discovered her and my daughter and 10 or 12 other girls dancing in the forest.
You permit dancing?
No, it was secrets.
Mr. Paris' slave has knowledge of conjuring
No,
the
we
devil.
cannot be sure of that, Goody Anne.
I know it! I sent my own daughter. She should learn from Tituba, who murdered her sisters.
Goody Anne! You sent a child to call upon the dead?
Let God blame me, not you, Rebecca. I will not have you blaming me anymore. Is it normal to lose 7 children before they even live a day?
7 dead in childbirth.
What book is that?
Here is all the invisible world, caught, defined, and calculated. In these books, the devil stands, stripped of all his brute disguises. Here are all your familiar spirits, your witches that go by land, by air, and by sea, your, wizards of the night. Have no fear now. We shall find him out if he has come among us, and I mean to crush him utterly if he has shown his face.
But will it hurt the child?
I cannot tell. If she is truly in the devil's grip, we may have to rip and tear to get her free.
I think I'll go then. I'm too old for this.
But Rebecca, we may open up the boil of all of our troubles today.
Let's hope for that. I go to God for you, sir.
I hope you do not mean we go to Satan here.
I wish I knew.
Come, let's get on.
Reverend Hale, I've always wanted to ask a learned person, what signifies the reading of strange books?
What books?
I cannot tell. She hides them.
Who does this?
Martha, my wife. Many a night I have waked and found her in a corner reading of a book. Now what do you make of this?
Why, that's not
It
necessarily...
discomfits me. Last night, mark this, I tried and could not say my prayers. And then she closed her book and walks out of the house, and suddenly, mark this, I could pray again.
Ah, the stoppage of prayer. That is strange. I'll speak further with that with you. We will discuss it. Now, mark me. If the devil is in her, you will witness some frightful wonders in this room. So please to keep your wits about you. Mr. Putnam, stand close in case she flies. Now, Betty dear, will you sit up? Can you hear me? I am Reverend Hale of Beverly. I have come to help you, dear. Do you remember my 2 little girls in Beverly?
Betty,
Does
answer
someone
Hale.
afflict you, child? It need not be a woman, mind you, or a man. Perhaps there is a bird, invisible to others, who comes to you. Perhaps a pig, a mouse, or any beast at all. Is there some figure that bids you fly? In nomine Domini Sabaoth, sue felite ad infernos. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing with her in the forest?
Why, common dancing is all.
I think I ought to say, I saw a kettle where they were dancing.
That were only
What
soup.
sort of soup were in this kettle, Abigail?
Why, it were beans and lentils, I think.
Mr.
and-
Paris, you did not notice any living thing in the kettle?
I do believe I saw some movement in the soup.
That jumped
What
in, we
jumped
never
in?
put it in. Why, a very little frog.
frog,
jumped-
Abby.
Abigail, it may be that your cousin is dying. Did you call the devil last night?
I never called him. Tituba,
She
Tituba!
called the devil?
I should like to speak with Tituba.
Could he bring
How
her
did
up?
she call him?
I know not, she spoke
Did you
Barbados.
feel any strangeness when she called him? A sudden cold wind, perhaps? A trembling
I didn't
below
see
the
no
ground?
devil.
You cannot
Betty, wake
evade
up.
me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew in that kettle?
She never drank it.
Did you drink it?
No!
Did Tituba ask you to drink it?
She tried, but I refused.
Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer?
I never sold myself. I'm a good girl. I'm a proper girl. She made me do it. She made Betty do it.
Abby.
She makes me drink blood.
Blood.
My baby's blood.
No, not chicken blood. I give she chicken blood.
Woman, have you enlisted these children for the devil?
No, I don't trust
Why
the
can
devil.
she not wake? Are you silencing this child?
Love me, Bessie.
You have set your spirit out upon this child, have you not? Are you gathering souls for the devil?
She sends her spirit on me in church. She makes me laugh at prayer.
She have often laughed at prayer.
She comes to me every night to go and drink blood.
You beg me to
Don't
pray to you.
lie. She comes to while I sleep. She's always making me dream corruption.
Why you say that, Abby?
Sometimes I wake and I find myself standing in the open doorway and not a stitch on my body. I always hear her laughing in my sleep. I hear her singing her Barbados songs that touch
Reverend,
me.
never-
I want you to wake this
I
child.
have no power on this child.
You will certainly do, and you'll free her from it now. When did you compact with the devil?
I don't come back with
You
no
will
devil.
confess yourself, or I'll take you out with you to your death, Tituba.
This woman must be hanged. She must be taken and hanged.
No. Don't hang, Tituba. I tell him.
I don't desire to work for him. Sir.
The devil?
Then you saw him. Now, Tituba, I know that when we bind ourselves to hell, it is very hard to break with it. We are going to help you tear yourself free.
I do believe somebody else bewitching these children.
Who?
I don't know. But the devil got him numerous witches.
Does he? Now, Tituba, look into my eyes. Come, look into me. You would be a good Christian woman, would you not?
I, a good Christian
and
woman.
And you love these little children.
I don't desire to hurt these little children.
And you love God, Tituba?
I love God with all my being.
Now, in God's holy name and to his glory,
Eternal
open yourself.
Lord.
Tituba, open yourself and let God's holy light shine on you. When the devil comes to you, does he ever come with another person? Perhaps someone in the village, someone you know.
Who came with him?
Sarah Good. Did you see Sarah Good with him? Or Osborne?
Was it a man or a woman? Who came with him?
Man or woman? It was woman.
A woman, you said. What woman?
It was black, dark, and...
You could see him. Why could you not see her?
They was always talking. They was always running around and carrying on.
Salem? Salem witches?
I believe so,
Tituba,
sir.
You must have no fear to tell us who they are. Do you understand? We will protect you. The devil can never overcome a minister. You know that, do you not?
I do.
You have confessed yourself to witchcraft, and that speaks a wish to come to heaven's side. And we will bless you, Tituba.
I bless you,
You
Reverend
are
Hale.
God's instrument, put in our hands to discover the devil's agents among us. So speak utterly, Tituba. Turn your back on him and face God. Face God, Tituba, and God will protect you.
No, God protect Tituba.
Who came to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4, how many?
There was 4, there was 4. How many times you made me to kill you, Mr. Paris?
Kill me?
He said, Mr. Paris must be killed. Mr. Paris no goodly man. Mr. Paris mean man, no gentleman. He made me to rise out of my bed and cut your throat. And I tell him no. I don't hate that man. I don't want to kill that man. And he said, you work for me. And I make you free. I give you pretty dress to wear. And put you way high up in the air. You go fly back to Barbados. And I say you lie. Oh, tell me you lie! Then, one stormy night, he come to me and he said, look, I have white people belong to me. And I look, and there was Goody Good.
Sarah Good?
I, sir, and Goody Osborne.
I knew it! I begged you, Thomas, that I not. Oh, Goody Osborne would master me 3 times. My baby's always shriveled in her arms.
Take courage. You must give us all of their names. How can you bear to see this child suffering? Look at her, Tituba. Look at her God-given innocence. Her soul so tender. We must protect her, Tituba. God will bless you for your help.
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil.
You did what?
I saw him. I wrote in his book. I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Goody Bishop with the devil. I saw George Jacobs with the devil.
She's big, she's big.
I saw Goody Hale with the devil. I saw Bishop.
The marshal! I'll call the marshal!
I saw Marvin Fire. What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
We're planting far out to the forest edge.
Oh. You're done then.
Aye, the farmer's seated. The boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Right now for a fair summer.
I.
Are you well today?
I am. It's Rabbit.
Oh, it is in Jonathan's trap?
No, she wandered into the house this afternoon. I found her sitting in the corner like she come to visit.
That's a good sign walking in.
Pray God, it hurt my heart to strip her, poor Rabbit.
It's well seasoned.
I took great care. She's tender?
Aye. I think we'll see green fields soon.
Aye.
If the
That's well.
crop is good, I'll buy George Jacob's heifer. How would that please you?
Aye. It would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know it, John.
Cider?
Aye.
You ought to bring some flowers in the house.
Oh, I forgot. I will tomorrow.
It's winter in here yet. On Sunday, let you come with me and we'll walk the farm together. I never see such a load of flowers on the earth.
Aye.
I think you were sad again, are you?
You come in so late, I thought you'd gone to Salem this afternoon.
Why, I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier
I
this
thought
week.
better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her go? You heard me forbid her go to Salem anymore.
I could not stop her.
It is a fault, Elizabeth. You are the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She frightened all my strength away.
How may that mouse frighten
It
you?
is a mouse no more. I forbid her go, and she raises up her chin like the daughter of a prince and says to me, I must go to Salem, goody Proctor. I'm an official of the court.
Court? What court?
Aye. It is a proper court they have now. They've sent judges out of Boston, she says, weighty magistrates of the general court. There be 14 people in the jail now, she says. And they'll be tried in the court of power to hang them, too, she says.
They'll never
The
hang.
deputy governor's promised hanging if they'll not confess, John. The town's gone wild, I think. She speak of Abigail, and I thought she were a saint to hear her. Abigail brings the other girls into the court, and where she walk, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel. And folks are brought in before them, and if they scream and howl and fall to the floor, the person's clapped in the jail for bewitching them.
Oh, it is a black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem. I think so. You must tell them it is a fraud.
Aye, it is. It surely is.
Let you go to Cheever. She knows you well. And tell her what Abigail said to you last week in her uncle's house. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft, did she not?
Aye, she did. She did.
God forbid you keep that from the court, John. I think they must be told.
Aye, they must. It is a wonder they do believe her.
I would go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Good then. Let you think on it.
I'm only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. If the girl's a saint now, I think it's hard to prove she's fraud. And the town's gone so silly. She told it to me in a room alone. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her?
For a moment alone, aye.
Why then it is not as you told
For
me.
a moment, I say. The others come in soon after.
Do as you wish then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion anymore.
I have no suspicion.
I'll not have it.
Then let you not earn
You
it.
doubt me yet?
John, if it were not Abigail you must go to hurt, would you falter now? I think not.
Now look you here.
I see what I see, John.
You will not judge me more, Elizabeth. I have good reason to think before I charge fraud on Abigail, and I will think on it. Let you look sometimes for the goodness in me and judge me not. I have forgot Abigail.
And I-
Oh, spare me. You forget nothing and forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I have gone tiptoe in this house. All 7 months since she is gone. I have not moved from here to there without, I think, to please you. And still, an everlasting funeral marches round your heart. I cannot speak, but I am doubted every moment judged for lies, as though I walk into a court when I walk into this house.
John, you are not open with me. You saw her with a crowd, you
I
said.
plead
Now
my
you're
honesty.
saying-
No more, Elizabeth.
John, I'm only trying
No
to-
more! I should have roared you down the minute you told me of your suspicion. But I wilted, and like a Christian I confessed. Confessed some dream I had must have mistaken you for God that day. But you're not, and let you remember it. Let you look sometimes for the goodness in me, and judge me not.
I do not judge you. It is the magistrate sits in your heart that judges you.
I never thought you but a good man, John, only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. How do you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you if you dare leave this house again!
I'm sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray, hurt me not. My insides are all shuddery. I'm in the proceedings all day, sir.
And what are these proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house, as you are paid £9 a year to do, and my wife not wholly well?
I made a gift for you today, Goody Proctor. I had to sit long hours in a chair and pass the time with sewing.
Why, thank you. It is a fair poppet.
We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Aye, indeed we must.
I'll get up early in the morning and clean the house. I must sleep now.
Mary, is it true there be 14 women arrested?
No, sir. There be 39 now, and Goody Osborne. Oh, hey!
Hey!
Hi. But not Sarah Good. For Sarah Good confessed, you see.
Confess to what?
That she sometimes made compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood.
But surely you know what a jabber she is. Did you tell them that?
Mr. Proctor, in open court, she near choked us all to death.
How choked you?
She sent her spirit out.
Oh, Mary, surely you don't
She tried to kill me many times, Goody Proctor.
Well, I never heard you mention that before.
I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When she come into the court, I say to myself, I must not accuse this woman, for she sleep in ditches, and so very old and poor. But then she sit there denying and denying, and I feel a misty coldness climbing up my back, and the skin on my skull begin to creep, and I feel a clamp around my neck, and I cannot breathe air, and then I hear a voice, a screaming voice. And all at once I remembered everything she done to me.
Wait, why? What did she do to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor, she come to this very door begging bread and a cup of cider. And mark this, whenever I turned her away empty, she mumbled.
Mumbled? Well, she may mumble if she's hungry.
But what does she mumble? You must remember, Goody Proctor, last month, a Monday, I think, she walked away and I swear my guts would burst for 2 days after. Do you remember it?
Well, I do. I
and
think
so I tell that to the judges, and they say, Goody Good, what curse do you mumble that this girl must fall sick after turning you away? And then she replies, Why, Your Excellency, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments, says she.
And that's an upright answer.
Aye, but then the judges say, Recite for us your commandments. And of all the 10, she could not say a single one. She never knew no commandments, and they had her in a flat lie.
And so condemned her?
Why, they must when she condemned herself.
But the proof!
I told you the proof, it's hard proof. Hard as rock, the judges said.
You will not go to court again, Mary Warren.
I must tell you, sir, I'll be gone every day now. And I'm amazed you not see what weighty work we do.
What work you do? It is strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
But they will not hang if they confess. Sarah Good will only sit in jail sometime. And here's a wonder for you. Think on this. Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near to 60.
They had Dr. Griggs examine her and she's full to the brim. And smoking her pipe all these years and no husband either. But she's safe, thank God, for they'll not hurt the innocent child. But be that not a marvel? You must see it, sir. It's God's work we do. So I'll be gone every day for some time. I'm an official of the court, they say, and
How official you?
I'll not send whipping anymore, Mr.
Mary,
Proctor.
promise me you'll not
The
stay
devil
at
sits
home
in Salem. We must discover
I'll
where he's
whip the
hiding.
devil out of you!
I saved her life today.
I am accused?
Somewhat mentioned. But I said I never seen no sign you ever sent your spirit out to hurt no one, and seeing as I do live so closely with you, they dismissed it.
Who accused me?
I am bound by law, I cannot tell. I only hope you'll not be so sarcastical with me no more. The judges sat with us to dinner but an hour ago, and I would have you speak civilly to me from this out.
Go to bed.
I'll not be ordered to bed no more, Mr. Proctor. I am 18 and a woman, however single.
Do you wish to sit up? Then sit up!
I wish to go to bed.
Good night, then!
Good night!
Oh, the noose is up.
There'll be no noose.
She wants me dead. I knew all week it would come to this.
They dismissed the charge. You heard her say it.
And what of tomorrow? She will cry me out until they take me.
Sit you down.
She wants me dead, John. You know it.
I say sit down. And now we must be wise, Elizabeth.
Oh, indeed.
No, fear nothing. I'll find Cheever. I'll tell her Abigail said it. We're all sport.
John, with so many more in the jail, more than Cheever's help is needed now, I think. Would you favor me with this? Go to Abigail.
What have I to say to Abigail?
John, grant me this. You have a faulty understanding of young girls. There's a promise made in any bed.
What promise?
Spoke or silent, a promise is surely made. And she may dote on it now, for I'm sure she does, and thinks to kill me than to take my place. It is her dearest hope, John, I know it. There be 1,000 names, why does she call mine? There be a certain danger in calling such a name. I am no goody-good that sleeps in ditches, nor Osborne, drunk and half-witted. She dare not call out such a farmer's wife, but there be monstrous profit in it. She thinks to take my place, John.
She cannot think it!
John, have you ever shown her somewhat of contempt? She cannot pass you in the church, but you will blush.
I may blush for my sin.
Well, I think she sees another meaning in that blush.
And what see you, Elizabeth?
I think you be somewhat ashamed, for I am there and she's so close.
When will you know me, woman? Were I were stone, I would have cracked for shame this 7 months.
She's an arrow in you yet, John Proctor, and you know it well.
Good evening.
Why, Reverend Hale, good evening to you. Come in.
I hope I do not startle you.
Oh, no. It is only that I heard no horse.
You are Goodwife Proctor.
Aye, Elizabeth.
I hope you're not off to bed yet.
No, we're not used to visitors after dark, but you're welcome here. Will you sit down?
I will. Let you sit, Goodwife Proctor.
Will you drink cider?
Oh, no, it rebels my stomach. I have some further traveling yet tonight. I will not keep you long, but I have some business to discuss with you.
Business of the court?
No, I come of my own, without court's authority. Hear me. I know not if you are aware, but your wife's name is mentioned in the court.
We know it. Our Mary Warren told us. We are entirely amazed.
I am stranger here, as you know, and in my ignorance I find it hard to draw a clear opinion of them that come accused before the court. And so this afternoon, and now tonight, I go from house to house. I come now from Rebecca.
Rebecca's charged?
No, God forbid such a one be charged. She is, however, mentioned somewhat.
You will never believe, I hope, that Rebecca trafficked with the devil.
Woman, it is possible.
Surely you cannot think so.
This is a strange time, mister. No man may longer doubt that the powers of dark are gathered in monstrous attack upon this village. There is too much evidence now to deny it, you will agree, sir.
I have no knowledge in that line, but it is hard to think so pious a woman be secretly a devil's slave after 70 years of such good prayer.
Aye, but the devil is a wily one. You cannot deny it. However, she is far from accused, and I know she will not be. I thought, sir, as to put some questions as to the Christian character of this house, if you'll permit me.
Why, we have no fear of questions.
Good then. In the book of record that Mr. Paris keeps, I note that you are rarely in the church on Sabbath day.
No, you are mistaken.
27 times in 16 months. Sir, I must call that rare.
Reverend Hale, I never knew I must account to that man before I come to church or stay at home. My wife was sick this winter.
So I am told, but you, mister, why could you not come alone?
I surely came when I could, and when I could not, I prayed here in this house.
Your house is not a church, sir. Your theology must tell you that.
It does, and it also tells me that a minister may pray to God without he have golden candlesticks upon the altar.
What golden candlesticks?
Paris came in for 20 weeks. He preached nothing but golden candlesticks until he had them. I would labor the earth from dawn of day till blink of night. When I look to heaven and see my money glaring at his elbows, it hurt my prayer. I think sometimes the man dreams cathedrals, not clapboard meeting houses.
And yet, mister, a Christian on Sabbath day must be in the church. Tell me, you have 3 children?
Aye, boys.
How comes it that only 2 are baptized?
I like it not that Mr. Pear should lay his hand upon my baby. I see no light of God in that man. I'll not conceal it.
I must say it, mister. That is not for you to decide. The man's ordained. Therefore, the light of God is in him.
What's your suspicion?
No, I have no suspicion.
I nailed the roof on the church. I hung the
did
door.
You? That's a good sign, then.
I think perhaps we have been too hard with Mr. Paris. I think so. But sure, we never loved the devil here.
Do you know your commandments, Elizabeth?
I certainly do. There be no mark of blame upon my life, Reverend Hale. I'm a covenanted Christian woman.
And you, mister?
I'm sure I do.
let you repeat them, if you will.
The commandments?
Aye.
Thou shalt not kill.
Aye.
Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, nor make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt make unto thee any
You
graven
have said that twice now, sir.
Aye.
Adultery, John.
Aye. You see, between the two of us, we do know them all. I think it be a small fault.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in a fortress may be accounted small.
There be no love for Satan in this house.
I pray it. I pray it dearly. Well then, I'll bid you good night.
Reverend Hale, I do think you are suspecting of me somewhat. Are you not?
Goody Proctor, I do not judge you. My duty is to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. I bid you both good health and good fortune. Good night, sir.
I think you must tell them, John.
What's that?
Will you tell them?
I have no witnesses and cannot prove it except my word be taken, but I know the children's sickness have naught to do with witchcraft.
Not to do with...
Mr. Parrish discovered them dancing in the woods. They were startled and took sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail.
Aye.
Abigail Williams told you it had naught to do with
She
witchcraft?
told me the day you came.
Why did you keep this?
I had no knowledge until tonight that the world has gone daft with this nonsense.
Nonsense, mister. I have myself examined Tituba, Sarah Good, and numerous others who have confessed to dealing with the devil. They have confessed
And
it.
why not if they must hang for denying it?
And you? Would you stand to testify this in court?
I had not reckoned with going to court, but if I must, I will.
Proctor, let you be open with me now, for I have a rumor that troubles me. It is said that you hold no belief that there may even be witches in the world. Is that true, sir?
I know not what I said. I may have said it. I have wondered if there be witches in the world, though I cannot believe they come among us now.
So then you do not
I have no knowledge for it. The Bible speaks of witches, and I'll not deny them.
And you, woman?
I cannot believe it.
You cannot?
Elizabeth, you bewilder them.
I cannot believe the devil may own a woman's soul, Reverend Hale, when she keeps an upright way as I have. I am a good woman, I know it. And if you may believe that I do only good work in the world and yet be secretly bound to Satan, then I must tell you I do not believe it.
So then, but you must surely
If you
believe
think that I am one, then I say there are none.
You surely do not fly against the
She
gospel.
believes in the gospel, every word.
Question Abigail Williams about the gospel, not
She
myself.
does not mean to doubt the gospel.
God keep you both. Let the third child be quickly baptized, and you go without fail each Sunday into Sabbath.
Giles, what's the matter?
They take my wife. And here's Rebecca.
Rebecca's in jail?
Aye. Cheever come and take her in a wagon. We've only now come from the jail, and they'll not even let us in to see them.
They've surely gone wild now, Reverend Hale.
Reverend Hale, can you not speak to the deputy?
Pray, calm yourself, Mr. Nurse.
My wife is the very brick and mortar of the church, Reverend Hale. And Martha Corey, there cannot be a woman closer yet to God than Martha.
How is Rebecca charged, Mr. Nurse?
For murder, she's charged. For the marvelous and supernatural murder of Goody Putnam's babies. What am I to do, Reverend Hale?
Believe me, Mr. Nurse, if Rebecca Nurse be tainted, then there's nothing left to stop the whole green world from burning.
You cannot mean she'll be tried in court?
How may such a woman murder children?
Man, remember until an hour before the devil fell, God thought him beautiful in heaven.
I never said my wife were a witch, Reverend Hale. I only said she were reading books.
Mr. Corey, exactly what complaint were made on your wife?
That bloody mongrel Walcott charged her. You see, he buy a pig of my wife 4 or 5 years ago, and the pig died soon after. So he come dancing in for his money back. So my Martha, she says to him, Walcott, if you haven't the wit to feed a pig properly, you'll not live to own many, she says. Now he goes to court and claims that from that day to this, he cannot keep a pig alive for more than 4 weeks because my Martha bewitched them with her books.
Good evening to you, Proctor.
Why, Cheever, good evening.
Good evening, all. Good evening, Reverend Hale.
I hope you come not on business of the court.
I do, Proctor. I am a clerk of the court now, you know.
You'll burn for this, do you know it?
You know yourself I must do as I'm told. You surely know that, Giles. I have a warrant for your wife.
You said she were not
I
charged!
know nothing of it. When was she charged?
I am given 16 warrants tonight, and she is one.
Who charged her?
Why,
Abigail Williams charge her.
On what proof? What proof?
Mr. Proctor, I have little time. The court bid me search your house, but I like not to search a house. So if you would hand me any poppets your wife may keep here?
Poppets?
I never kept no poppets. Not since I were a girl.
I spy a poppet, Goody Proctor.
Oh, no. Why, this is Mary's.
Would you please to give it
Fetch
to me?
Mary here.
No, I am forbid to
You
leave her from
out
my
of sight and out of mind. Fetch Mary, Elizabeth.
What signifies a poppet,
They
Mr.
say
Cheever?
it may signify... Why, this! This!
What's there?
Why, it is a needle! Herrick, it is a
And
needle!
what signifies a needle?
The girl, the Williams girl, Abigail Williams. She sat to dinner in Reverend Paris's house tonight, and, without word nor warning, she falls to the floor. Like a struck beast, he says, and screamed a scream a bull would weep to hear. And he goes to save her, and stuck 2 inches in the flesh of her belly, he draw a needle out, demanding of her how she came to be so stabbed. She testify it were your wife's familiar spirit pushed it in.
Why, she done it herself. I hope you're not taking this for proof.
'Tis hard proof. I find here a poppet Goody Proctor keeps. I have found it, and in the belly of the poppet, the needle is stuck.
Here now, Mary, how did this poppet come into my house?
What poppet's that, sir?
This poppet.
Why, I think it is
It
mine.
is your poppet, is it not?
It is?
And how did it come into this house?
Why, I made it in the court and give it to Goody Proctor tonight.
Now, do you have it?
Mary warned a needle were found stuck inside this poppet.
Why, I meant no harm by it.
You stuck that needle in yourself?
I believe I
What
did.
say you
Child,
now?
are you sure that this be your natural memory? May it be, perhaps, someone even now conjures you to say this?
Conjures me? Why, no, I'm entirely myself, I think. Let you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sewing it in court. Ask Abby. Abby sat beside me as I made it.
Bid her out. Your mind is surely settled now. Bid her be gone, Reverend Hale.
What signifies
Mary,
needle?
you charge a cold and cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder? I charge no
Abigail
murder.
was stabbed tonight. A needle were found stuck into her belly.
And she charges me?
Aye.
Why, that girl's murder! She must be ripped out of the world!
You heard that? Ripped out of the world! Herrick, you heard it!
Out with you!
Proctor, you dare not touch the
Out
war!
with you!
Now, Proctor, we...
Get you going with them. You are a broken minister.
Proctor, if she is
If
innocent,
she is
the court
innocent, why do you never wonder if Paris be innocent or Abigail? Is the accuser always holy now? I'll tell you, it's walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we always were in Salem. But now the crazy little children are jailing the keys of the kingdom, and common vengeance writes the law. I'll not give my wife to vengeance.
I'll go, John.
You will not go.
You cannot keep her. I have 9 men waiting outside. I cannot budge. I cannot go against the law.
Will you see her taken?
Proctor, the court is just having a...
God will not let you wash your hands of this.
John, I think I must go with them. Mary, there is bread enough for tomorrow. You will bake in the afternoon. Help Mr. Proctor as though you were his daughter. You owe me that, and much more. And the children wake, speak nothing of witchcraft. It will frighten them.
We'll bring you home. We'll bring you home soon.
Don't bring me soon.
Herrick, don't chain her! Oh, damn you, men! I will not have her chained! Off with them!
Mr. Proctor.
Out of my sight!
Charity, Proctor! Charity! What I have heard in her defense, I will not fear to testify in the court. God help me, I cannot judge her guilty or innocent. I know not.
You are a coward. Though you be ordained by God's own tears, you are a coward now.
Proctor, I cannot think that God be provoked so grandly by such a petty cause. The jails are packed. Our greatest judges sit in Salem now. And hangings promised. I shall pray to God to open up our eyes.
I never heard no murder done in Salem.
Leave me, Francis, leave me.
John, tell me, are we lost?
Go home now, Giles. We'll speak on it tomorrow.
Let you think on it. We'll come early, eh?
Aye, go home now.
Good night, then.
Mr. Proctor, very likely they'll let her come home once they're given proper evidence.
You're coming to the court with me, Mary Warren. You will tell it in the court.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
You will tell the court how that puppet come here and who stuck that needle into it.
She'll kill me for saying that. And Abby'll charge lechery on you, Mr. Proctor.
She's told you?
I have known it, sir. She'll ruin you with it. I know she will.
Good. That her saintliness is done with. We will slide together into our pit. You will tell the court what you know.
No, I cannot, Mr.
My
Proctor.
wife will never die for me!
I cannot, Mr. Proctor.
Make your peace! Now heaven and hell grapple at our backs, and all our old pretenses ripped away. Make your peace! Peace. It is a providence and no great change. We are what we always were in Salem. But naked now, I naked. And the wind, God's icy wind will blow.
Do you understand your charge? It is a baseless charge. I've never heard anyone in my life.
I must speak with you, Abigail.
How do you come?
Friendly.
I don't like the woods at night. Pray you stand closer. I thought you'd come a good time sooner.
I hear you go to the tavern every night and play shovelboard with the deputy, and they give you cider.
I have once or twice played the shovelboard, but I have no joy in it.
This is a surprise, Abby. I thought I'd find you gayer than this. I'm told a troop of boys follows you step for step wherever you walk these days.
Aye, they do, but I have only lewd looks from the boys.
And you like that not?
I cannot bear lewd looks no more, John. My spirit's changed entirely. I ought to be given godly looks when I suffer for them as I do.
Oh, how do you suffer, Abby?
Why, look at my leg. I'm holes all over from their damned needles and pins. And the jab your wife gave me's not healed yet, you know.
Oh, it isn't?
I think sometimes she pricks it open again while I sleep. And George Jacobs, he comes again and raps me with his stick, the same spot every night all this week. Look at the lump I have.
Abby, George Jacobs has been in the jail all this month.
And thank God he is, and bless the day he hangs and lets me sleep in peace again. Oh, it'll take God himself to cleanse this town properly.
Abby, you mean to cry out still others?
If I live, if I am not murdered, I surely will until the last hypocrite is dead.
Well, then there is no good.
Aye, there is one. You are good.
Am I? How am I good?
Why, you taught me goodness. Therefore, you are good. Oh, John, I will make you such a wife when the world is white again. You will be amazed to see me every day, a light of heaven in your house. Why are you cold?
My wife goes to trial in the morning, Abigail.
Your wife?
Surely you knew of it.
I do remember it now. Is she well?
As well as she may be. 36 days in that place.
You said you came friendly.
She will not be condemned, Abby.
You brought me from my bed to speak of her?
I come to tell you what I will do tomorrow in the court. I will not take you by surprise, but give you all good time to think on what to do to save yourself.
Save myself?
If you do not free my wife, I am set and bound to ruin you, Abby.
How ruin me?
I have rocky proof and documents that you knew that Papa were none of my wives, and that you yourself bade Mary Warren stab it.
I bade Mary
You
Warren?
know what you do. You are not so mad.
Oh, hypocrites! Have you won him too? John, why do
Abby, I
send
warn you.
They send you. They steal your honesty.
I have found my honesty.
No, this is your wife pleading, your sniveling, envious wife. This is Rebecca's voice. Martha Corey's voice. You were no hypocrite.
I will prove you for the fraud you are.
And if they ask you why Abigail would ever do so murderous a deed, what will you tell them?
I will tell them why.
What will you tell? You will confess to fornication in the court?
If you will have it so, I will tell it. I say I will. If you can hear this. Can you hear? You will tell the court you are blind to spirits. You cannot see them anymore, and you will never cry witchery again, or I will make you famous for the whore you are.
Never in this world. I know you, John.
You are this moment singing secret hallelujahs that your wife will hang.
Mad murderous coward!
You have done your duty by her. I hope it is your last hypocrisy. I pray you will come again with sweeter news for me. I know you will, now that your duty's done. Good night, John. Fear not, I'll save you tomorrow. For yourself, I'll save you.
Arrest her. Take her away.
Will you let me speak to my husband first? Will you let me speak to Francis, my husband, please?
I have evidence for the court.
You will take a seat.
Thomas Putnam is reaching out for land.
Remove that man, Marshal.
You're hearing lies. Lies.
Arrest him.
I have evidence. Why will you not hear my evidence? Hands off, damn you. Let me go.
Giles!
Out of my way, Herrick. I bring evidence.
You cannot go up there, Giles. It's a
Hold
court.
a moment.
You, Reverend Hale, go up there and demand I speak.
Sir, a moment.
They'll be hanging my wife.
How dare you come roaring into this court?
Are you gone daft?
Who is this man?
Giles Court.
I am asked the question, and I am old enough to answer. My name is Corey, Giles Corey. I have 600 acres and timber in addition. It is my wife you be condemning now.
And how do you imagine to help her cause with such contemptuous riot? Your old age alone keeps you out of jail for this.
They be telling lies about my wife, your honors.
Do you take it upon yourself to determine what this court shall believe and what it shall set aside?
Your excellencies, we mean no disrespect.
Disrespect indeed. It is disruption, mister. This is the highest court of the supreme government of this province. Do you know it?
I only send my wife for reading books, and they come and take her out.
Books? What books?
It is my third wife. I never had a wife so taken by books, and I thought to find the cause of it, do you see? But were no which I charge her for.
Excellencies, this man claims hard evidence for his wife's defense. I think that in all justice...
Then let him submit his evidence in proper affidavit.
You are certainly aware of our procedure here, Reverend Hale. Clear this room.
Come now, Giles. You're desperate. We come here 3 days now and cannot be heard.
Who is this man?
Francis Nurse, your excellencies.
His wife's Rebecca that were condemned this morning.
Indeed. I am amazed to find you in such uproar. We have only good report of your character, Mr. Nurse.
I think they both ought to be arrested in contempt. Let you write your plea, and in due time...
Excellencies, we have proof for your eyes. God forbid you shut them to it. The girls are frauds.
What's that?
We have proof of it. They are all deceiving you.
This is contempt.
Peace. Do you know who we are, Mr. Nurse?
I surely do, and I think you all must be wise judges to be what you are.
Mary Warren, what are you about here?
She would speak with the deputy.
Didn't you tell me Mary Warren were sick in bed?
She were, your honors. When I go to fetch her to the court last week, she said she were sick.
She has been striving with her soul all week. She comes now to tell the truth of this to you.
Who is this?
John Proctor. Elizabeth Proctor is my wife.
Beware this man, excellencies. This man is mischief.
Your honors, I think that you must hear the girl.
Reverend Hale. What would you tell us, Mary Warren?
She never saw no spirits.
Never saw no spirits.
Never signed his deposition.
No depositions. Tell me, Mr. Proctor, have you given out this story in the village?
We have not.
This man has come to overthrow the court, your excellencies.
I pray
They
you,
have come.
Mr. Paris. Do you know, Mr. Proctor, that the entire contention of the state in these trials is that the voice of heaven is speaking through the children?
I know that.
And you, Mary Warren, how came you to cry out people for sending their spirits out on you?
It were pretense.
I cannot hear
It were
you.
pretense, she says.
Ah, and the other girls, Susanna Walcott and the others, they are also pretending?
Excellency, you surely cannot think to let so vile a lie be spread in open court.
Indeed not, but it strike hard upon me that she dare come here with such a tale. Now, Mr. Proctor, we burn a hot fire here. It melts down all concealment.
I know that.
Are you certain in your conscience, mister, that your evidence is the truth?
It is, and you will surely know it.
And you thought to declare this revelation in the open court before the public?
I thought I would, with your permission.
Now, sir, what is your purpose in doing so?
Why, I would free my wife.
There lurks nor in your heart, nor hidden in your spirit, any desire to undermine this court?
Why, no.
Your Excellencies,
Cheever.
I think it be my duty. You'll not deny it, John. When we come to take his wife, he damned the court and ripped your warrant.
Now you have it.
He did that, Reverend Hale. Aye, he did.
It were a temper. I knew not what I did.
Mr. Proctor,
I.
have you seen the devil?
No.
You're in all respects a gospel Christian.
I am.
Such a Christian that will not come to church but once in a month.
Not come to church?
I have no love for Mr. Paris. It is no secret. But God I surely love.
You plow on Sunday.
Plow on Sunday?
I have once or twice plowed on Sunday. I have 3 children, and until last year, my land give little.
You'll find other Christians that do plow on Sunday, if the truth be known.
Your honors, I cannot think that you may judge the man on such evidence.
I judge nothing, I tell you straight. I have seen many marvels in this court. I have seen people choked by spirits before my very eyes.
I have seen them stuck by pins and slashed by daggers.
We have until this moment not the slightest reason to suspect that the children may be deceiving us. Do you understand our meaning?
Excellencies, does it not strike upon you that so many of these women have lived so long with such upright reputations?
Do you read the
and yet
gospel, Mr. Proctor?
I read the
I
gospel?
think not. Or you should surely know that Cain were an upright man, and yet he did kill Abel.
God tells us that. But who tells us Rebecca Nurse murdered 7 babies by sending her spirit out on them? It is the children only, and this one will swear she lied to you.
Mr. Proctor, this morning, your wife sent us a claim in which she states that she is pregnant now.
My wife pregnant?
There be no sign of it. We have examined her body.
But if she says she is pregnant, then she must be. That woman will never lie.
She will not.
Never.
We have thought it too convenient to be credited. However, if I should tell you now that I shall let her be kept another month, and she begin to show her natural signs, you shall have her living another year until she is delivered. What say you to that?
Come now, you say your only purpose is to save your wife. Good, then she is saved at least this year, and a year is long.
What say you? It is done. Will you drop this charge?
I think I cannot.
Then your purpose is somewhat larger.
This man has come to overthrow the court, your excellencies.
These are my friends. Their wives are also accused.
I judge you not, sir. I am ready to hear your evidence.
I come not to hurt the court. I only come to
Now,
show...
Mr. Proctor, give us your deposition, and I beg you be clear, open as the sky, and honest.
I am no lawyer, so
The pure
I'll
in
only
heart need no lawyers. Proceed as you will.
Will you read this first? It's a testament of sorts. The people signing it declare the good opinion of Rebecca, and my wife, and Martha Corey. These are all landholding farmers, members of the church. If you'll notice, they've known the women many years and never saw no signs they had dealings with the devil.
How many names are here?
91, your excellencies.
These people should be summoned for questioning.
I gave them all my word no harm would come to them for signing this.
This is a clear attack upon the court.
Is every defense an attack upon the court?
I think they ought to be examined.
It is not necessarily an attack, I think. Yet,
They are all covenanted Christians.
Then I am sure they have nothing to fear. Cheever, have warrants drawn for these. Arrests for examination.
Now, mister, what other information do you have for us?
I have brought trouble on these people.
Oh, no, old man. You have not hurt these people if they are of good conscience. But you must understand, sir, that a person is either with this court or he must be counted against it. There be no road in between.
She's not hardy, I see.
No, she's not. Now remember what the angel Raphael said to the boy Tobias. Remember it.
Aye.
Do that which is good, and no harm shall come to thee.
Aye.
John, my deposition! Give them my deposition!
Aye, this is Mr. Corey's deposition.
Oh, what lawyer drew this, Corey?
You know I have never hired a lawyer in my life.
It is very well phrased. My compliments.
Mr. Paris, if Mr. Putnam was in the court, would you bring him in?
You say you never have no legal training, Mr. Corey.
I have the best. I'm 33 time in court in my life, and always plaintiff too.
Oh, then you're much put upon.
I'm never put upon. I know my rights, and I will have them. Aye, there he is.
Mr. Putnam, we have here an accusation by Mr. Corey against you. He states that you coldly prompted your daughter to cry witchery upon George Jacobs that is now in jail.
It is a lie.
Mr. Putnam states your charge is a lie. What say you to that?
A fart on Thomas Putnam! That is what I say to that.
What proof do you submit for your charge?
My proof is there. If Jacobs hangs for a witch, he forfeit up his property. That's law. And there is none but Putnam with a coin to buy so great a piece of land. This man is killing his neighbors for their land.
But proof, sir, proof.
The proof is there. I have it from an honest source who heard Putnam say it. The day his daughters cried out on Jacob's, he said she'd given him a fair gift of land.
And the name of this man.
What name?
The man that gave you this information.
Why, I cannot give you his name.
And why not?
You know well why not. He'll lay in jail if I give his name.
This is contempt, of course. You will surely give us the name.
I will not give you no name. I mentioned my wife's name once and I'll burn in hell long enough for that. I stand mute.
In that case, we have no choice but to arrest you for contempt of this court. Do you know that?
This is a hearing. You cannot clap me for contempt of a hearing.
Oh, it is a proper lawyer.
Do you wish me to declare this court in full session here, or will you give me good reply?
I will not give you his name.
You foolish old man. Cheever, begin the record. Court is now in session. I ask you, Mr.
Your Honor,
Corey.
he has the story in
The
confidence.
devil lives on such confidences.
Old man, if your informant tells the truth, let him come here openly like a decent man. But if he hide in anonymity, I must know why. The government and the Central Church demand of you give us the name of him who would report Mr. Thomas Putnam a common murderer.
Excellency.
Reverend Hale.
We cannot blink it more. There's a prodigious fear of this court in the country.
Then there is a prodigious guilt in the country.
Are you afraid to be questioned here?
I may only fear the Lord, but there is fear in the country nevertheless.
Reproach us, not with the fear in the country. There is fear in the country because there is a moving plot to topple Christ in the country.
But it does not follow that everyone accused is part of it.
No uncorrupted man may fear this court, Reverend Hale. None. You are under arrest and contempt of this court. Now, take counsel with yourself, or you shall be set in jail until you decide to answer all questions.
Oh, cut your throat,
Peace,
I'll
Giles.
kill you
We'll
yet.
prove ourselves. Now we will. Forgive him for his old age. Peace, Giles. We'll prove it all now. This is Mary Warren's deposition. I would ask you to remember while you read this that until 2 weeks ago she were no different than any of the girls are today. You saw her scream. She swore familiar spirits choked her.
We know all this.
Aye. She swears now she never saw Satan nor any other spirit and declares her friends are lying now.
Excellencies, a moment. I think that this goes to the heart of the matter.
Now look you, Reverend
I have
Hale.
signed 72 death warrants. I am a minister of the Lord, and I dare not take a life without there be a proof so immaculate no slightest qualm of conscience may doubt it.
Reverend Hale, you surely do not doubt justice.
I have signed away the soul of Rebecca Nurse, Your Honor. I'll not conceal it. My hands shake as yet with a wound.
Reverend Hale, believe me, for a person of such terrible learning, you are most bewildered.
Let you consider now, and I bid you all do likewise. In an ordinary crime, how does one defend the accused? One calls up witnesses to prove his innocence. But witchcraft is ipso facto, on its face and by its nature, an invisible crime, is it not?
Therefore, who may possibly be witness to it? The witch and the victim, none other. Now, we cannot hope the witch will accuse herself, granted. Therefore, we must rely upon the victims, and they do testify. The children certainly do testify. As for the witches, none will deny that we are the most eager for all of their confessions. Now, but what is left for a lawyer to bring out? I think I have made my point.
But this child
Have I not?
claims that the girls are not truthful.
Oh,
and if
that
they
is
aren't,
precisely what we are about to consider. What more may you ask of us?
let you consider it then.
And let you put your heart to rest. Her deposition, Mr. Proctor.
I isolate the question on the
I
basis
bid
of
you
this.
be silent, Reverend Harris Paris.
Cheever, go into the court and bring the children in. Mary Warren. How came you to this turnabout?
Has Mr. Proctor threatened you for this deposition?
No.
Has he ever threatened you?
No.
Has he threatened you?
No.
Then you tell us that you sat in our court callously lying when you knew people would hang by your evidence? Answer me!
I did? How were you instructed in your life? Do you not know that God damns all liars?
No, I'm with God now.
You are with God now.
I will tell you this. You are either lying now, or you are lying in the court, and in either case you have committed perjury, and you shall go to jail for it.
No, I cannot lie no more. I am with God. I am with God.
Sit down, children. Your friend, Mary Warren, has given us a deposition,
in which she swears she never saw any familiar spirits, apparitions, nor any manifest of the devil.
She claims as well that none of you saw these things either. Now, children, this is a court of law.
And the law, based upon the Bible and the Bible writ by Almighty God, forbids the practice of witchcraft and describes death the penalty thereof.
But likewise, children, the law and Bible damn all bearers of false witness.
Now then, it does not escape me that this deposition may be devised to blind us. It may be that Mary Warren has been conquered by Satan, who sends her here to distract our sacred purpose.
If so, her neck will break forth.
But if she speak true, I bid you drop your guile and confess your pretense, for a quick confession will go easier with you.
Abigail Williams, rise. Is there any truth in this?
No. Will either of you change your positions on this now? Or do you force me to hard questioning?
I have not to change. She lies.
You would still go on with this?
A puppet were discovered in Mr. Proctor's house, stabbed by a needle.
Mary Warren claims that you sat beside her in court when she made it, and that you saw her make it, and that you witnessed how she herself stuck her needle into it for safekeeping.
What say you to that?
It is a lie.
While you worked for Mr. Proctor, did you see puppets in that house?
Goody Proctor always kept puppets.
Your Honor, my wife never kept no puppets. Mary Warren confesses it were her puppet.
Your Excellencies, Cheever, when I spoke with Goody Proctor in that house, she said she never kept no puppets. But she did say she kept puppets when she were a girl.
She has not been a girl these 15 years, Your Honor.
But a puppet will keep 15 years, will it not?
It will keep, it is kept, but Mary Warren swears she never saw no puppets in my house, nor anyone else.
Why could there not have been puppets hid where no one ever saw them?
There might also be a dragon with 5 legs in my house, but no one has ever seen it.
You're here, Your Excellencies, precisely to discover what no one has ever seen.
What may Mary Warren gain but hard questioning and worse?
You are charging Abigail Williams with a marvelous plot to murder. Do you understand that?
I do. I believe she means to murder.
This child would murder your wife.
It is not a child. Now hear me, in the sight of the congregation, she were twice this year put out of the meeting house for laughter during prayer.
What's that? Laughter?
Your Excellencies, she were under Tituba's power at the time, but she is Salem now.
Aye, now she is. Solomon goes to hang people.
Quiet, man.
Continue, Mr. Proctor.
Mary, now tell the governor how you danced in the woods.
Excellency, since I come to Salem, this man is blackening my name.
In
He's
a moment,
ruining my...
sir. What is this dancing?
Mr. Proctor.
Abigail leads the girls to the woods, Your Honor, and they have...
This is a lie.
Mr. Paris discovered them sporting in the dead of night. There's the child she is.
Mr. Paris, you discovered them dancing
Your
in the woods?
Honors, when I first arrived from Beverly, Mr. Paris told me that.
Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
I do not, but please listen to me.
But she have danced.
Aye.
You say you never saw no spirits, Mary.
No.
And yet, when people accused of witchery confronted you in court, you would faint, saying their spirits came out of their bodies and choked you.
I cannot hear you.
Pretense.
But you did turn cold, did you not? I myself picked you up many times, and your skin were icy. Excellencies, you saw
I
that.
saw that many times.
But she were only pretending to faint, Your Excellencies. They're all marvelous pretenders.
Then can she pretend to faint now?
Now?
Well, why not? Now there are no spirits attacking her, for none in this room is accused of witchcraft. So, let her turn herself cold now. Let her pretend she's attacked now. Let her faint. Faint!
Faint?
Aye, faint. And prove to us how you did in the court so many times.
I cannot faint now, sir.
Can you not pretend it?
I have no sense of it now.
Why? What is lacking now?
I cannot tell.
Might it be that we have no afflicting spirit loose, but in the court there were some?
I never saw no
Then
spirits.
see no spirits now, and prove to us that you can faint by your own will as you claim.
I cannot do it.
Then you will confess yourself, will you not? It were attacking spirits that made you faint. Excellencies, this is a trick to blind the court.
It's not a trick. I used to faint because I thought I saw spirits.
Thought you saw them.
But I did not, Your Honors.
How could you think you saw them unless you saw them?
I cannot tell. I just...
the other girls were screaming, and you, Your Honor, you seemed to believe them, and it were only sport in the beginning, but then the whole world cried, spirits, spirits, and I can promise you, I only thought I saw them, but I did not.
Surely Your Excellency is not taken by this simple lie.
Abigail, I bid you now search your heart and tell me this. Is it possible, child, that the spirits you have seen are illusion only?
Why, this is a base question.
Child, we would have you consider it.
I have been hurt. I have seen my blood running out. I have been near to murdered every day because I've done my duty pointing out the devil's people. And this is my reward? To be mistrusted, denied,
Child,
questioned.
we do not mistrust you.
You beware. Think you be so mighty that the power of hell may not turn your wits?
Abigail.
Beware of it. There is...
What is it, child?
I'm not doing the rules.
It's pretending. Let's just hold Your Honor.
Don't say anything.
Don't do that! Mary warned you, whipped her. I saved you, you said you're out.
Mary.
Oh, you don't father her in the shadow.
Oh, how do you call down heaven? You whore! John, it is a whore.
You chose!
He is lying.
Mark her!
You approve this. This will not pass.
I have known her. I have known her.
You are a lecher.
A man will not cast away his good name. You surely know that.
In what time? In what place?
In the proper place where my beasts are bedded. On the last night of my joy, some 8 months past, she used to serve me in my house. A man may think God sleeps, but God sees everything. I know that now. I beg you, see her what she is. My wife, my dear good wife, took this screw soon after and put her out on the high road. She thinks to dance with me on my wife's grave, and well she might, for I thought of her softly, God help me, I lusted! And there's a promise in such sweat, but it is a whore's vengeance, and you must see it. I set myself entirely in your hands. I know you must see it now.
Abigail, you deny every scrap and tittle of this.
If I must answer that, I will leave and I will not come back again. What look do you give me? I will not have such looks.
You will remain where you are. Mr. Paris, go into the court and bring good wife Proctor out.
This is a
Bring
lie.
her out!
And tell her not one word of what's been spoken here. And let you knock before you enter.
Aye.
Mr. Proctor, you say your wife is an honest woman.
In her life she's never lied. There are them that cannot weep and them that cannot sing. My wife cannot lie. I've paid much to learn it.
And when she put this girl out of your house, she put her out for a harlot.
Aye.
And knew her for a harlot.
Aye, she knew her for a harlot.
Good then. And if she tell me it were for harlotry, child, may God spread his mercy upon you.
Hold! Turn your back. Turn your back! Do likewise. Now let neither of you turn to face Goody Proctor. No one in this room is to speak one word or raise a gesture, aye or nay. Enter. Cheever, report this testimony in all exactness. Are you ready?
Ready. You will look at us only and not at your husband. In our eyes only.
Good. We are given to understand that at one time you dismissed your servant, Abigail Williams.
That is true. For
you will look at us
only and not at your husband. The answer we seek lies in your memory, and you need no help to give it to us.
Why did you dismiss Abigail Williams?
She dissatisfied me and my husband.
In what way dissatisfied you?
She
Woman, look at us! Was she slovenly? Lazy?
What disturbance did she cause?
Your Honors, in that time I were sick, and my husband is a good and righteous man. He is never drunk as some are, but always at his work. But in my sickness, you see, I were a long time sick after my last baby, and I thought I saw my husband somewhat turning from me. And this girl...
Look at us!
Abigail Williams.
What of Abigail Williams?
I came to think he fancied her. And so one night, I lost my wits, I think, and put her out on the high road.
Your husband, did he indeed turn from you?
My husband is a goodly man.
Then he did not turn from you.
Look at us! To your knowledge, has John Proctor ever committed the crime of lechery? Answer me! Is your husband a lecher? No.
Remove her, Marshal.
No, Elizabeth, tell the truth.
She has spoken.
No, Elizabeth,
Remove
I have
her.
confessed myself.
Oh, God!
She only thought to say my
Excellencies,
name.
it is a natural lie to tell. I beg you stop now before another is condemned. I may shut my conscience to it no more. Private vengeance is working through this testimony. From the beginning, this man has struck me true. By my oath to heaven, I believe him now. I beg you, call back his
She
wife.
spoke nothing of lechery. This man has lied.
I believe him! This girl has always struck me!
Reverend Hale,
No. He come at me every night. His eyes were like coals, and his fingers claw at my neck, and I sighed.
Excellency, this child's gone wild.
Mary!
I love God. I go your way no more. I love God. I bless God. Abby, I'll never hurt you more.
What are you?
I have seen your power. You will not deny it. What say you, Mister?
Excellency, I will have nothing of you, Reverend Hale.
Will you confess yourself befouled with hell, or do you keep that black allegiance yet? What say you?
I say God is dead! A fire is putting eyes to the Buddha Lucifer. I see his filthy face, and it is my face and yours.
I knew
Marshal, take him and Corey with him to jail.
I denounce these proceedings!
You are pulling heaven down and raising the whole.
Reverend Hale! Reverend Hale!
Sarah, wake up. Sarah Good.
Oh, Majesty, come in. Tituba, he's here. His Majesty's come.
Go to the north cell. This place is wanted now.
That don't look to me like His Majesty.
get along with you now. Clear this place.
Oh, is it you, Marshall? I thought sure you'd be the devil coming for us. Could I have set aside for me going away?
We go to Barbados. Soon the devil come with his feathers and his wings.
Apparently we're twins suddenly, the two of us. It would be a grand transformation, Marshall.
Come along now. Come on.
I'll speak to him. If you desires to come along, that's him, sir! Devil,
Come along.
The deputies have arrived.
That's not Satan, just a poor old cow. Come along.
No! He's coming for me! I'm going home!
Come along now.
Leave me now, devil! No! Let him take me! I just want to go! No!
Good morning, Excellencies.
Where is Reverend Paris?
I'll fetch him.
Marshall, when did Reverend Hale arrive?
It were toward midnight, I think.
What are they about here?
They go among them that will hang, and they pray with them. They sit with Goody Nurse now, and Paris with them.
Marshall, that man have no authority here. Why would you let him in?
Why, Mr. Paris command me. I cannot deny him.
Are you drunk, Marshall?
No, it is a bitter night, and I have no fire here.
Fetch Mr. Paris.
Aye.
There is a prodigious stench in this place. I think it be the cows.
Cows?
There be so many cows wandering the high roads, now their masters in the jails, and much disagreement over who they will belong to now. I know Mr. Paris be arguing with farmers all yesterday. There is great contention about the cows.
Oh, good morning, Your Excellencies. Thank you for coming. I beg your pardon for waking you so early.
Reverend Hale have no right to enter this
Excellency, a
place.
moment.
You leave them alone with the prisoners.
Excellency, hear me. It is a providence. Reverend Hale has returned to bring Rebecca Nurse to God.
They bid her confess.
Hear me. Rebecca have not given me a word this 3 months since she came. Now she sits with Hale and her sister and Martha Corey, and Hale pleads with them to confess their crimes and save their lives.
This is indeed a providence, and they soften.
No, not yet. But I thought I should summon you to think of
Mr.
whether or not
Paris, be plain. What troubles you?
There is news. The court was stricken with my niece. She has vanished.
Vanished?
I thought to advise you of her earlier in the week, but I didn't know what to do.
Why, how long is she gone?
This will be the 3rd night. She told me she would sleep at Mercy Lewis for a night. And next day when she does not return, I sent to Mr. Lewis to inquire. Mercy told him that she would sleep at my house for a night.
They're both gone?
I shall send a party for them. Where may they be?
Excellencies, I think they be aboard a ship. My daughter tells me she heard them speaking of ships early in the week. And tonight, I discovered my strong box was broken into.
She have robbed you.
31 pound is gone, I am penniless.
Mr. Paris, you are a brainless man.
Excellency, it profit nothing you should blame me. I cannot think that they would run off except they fear to keep in Salem any longer. Mark it, Abigail had close knowledge of the town. And since the news of Andover have broken...
Andover has been remedied. The court returns there on Friday and will resume examinations.
I am sure of it. But the rumor here speak rebellion
There
in Andover.
is no rebellion in Andover.
I tell you what is said here. Andover have thrown out the court, they say, and will have no part of witchcraft. There be a faction here feeding on that news, and I tell you true, I fear there will be riot.
Riot? Why, every execution we have seen not but high satisfaction in the town.
It were another sort that hang till now. Rebecca Nurse is no Bridget that lived with Bishop 3 years before she married him. John Proctor is no Isaac Ward that drank his family to ruin. And I were to God if we're not so, Excellencies, but these people have great weight yet in the town. Let Rebecca stand upon that gibbet and set up some righteous prayer, and I fear she will wake a vengeance on you.
She is condemned, a witch.
Pray you. How do you propose, then?
I would postpone these hangings for a time.
There will be no postponement.
But there is hope, I think, for Hale's return. If they bring even one of these people to God, confession surely damns the others in the public eye.
Give me the list.
It cannot be forgot that when I summoned the congregation for John Proctor's excommunication, there were hardly 30 people come to hear it. That speak a discontent, and that cannot be ignored.
There will be no postponement.
Excellency, please!
Which of these, in your opinions, may be brought to God? We will ourselves strive with him till dawn.
There is not sufficient time till dawn.
I shall do my utmost.
Which of them
Excellency,
do you have hopes
a dagger!
for?
What do you say?
Tonight, when I opened my door to leave my house, a dagger clattered to the ground. There was danger for me yet. I dare not step outside at night.
Ah, Reverend Hale, accept my congratulations. We are gladdened to see you have returned to your good work.
You must pardon them. They will not budge.
You misunderstand. We cannot pardon these when 12 are already hanged for the same crime. It is not just.
Rebecca will not
The
confess.
sun will rise in a few minutes. Excellencies, I must have more time.
Now hear me, and beguile yourselves no more. We will not receive a single plea for pardon or postponement.
Them that will not confess will hang. 12 are already executed. The names of these 7 are given out, and the village expects to see them die this morning.
Postponement now speaks of floundering on our part. Reprieve or pardon must cast doubt upon the guilt of them that died till now. If retaliation is your fear, know this. We should hang 10,000 that dared rise up against the law, and an ocean of salt tears could not melt the resolution of the statutes.
Have you spoken with them all, Reverend Hale?
All but Proctor. He is in the dungeon.
His wife. His wife must be well on with child now. She is.
What think you, Mr. Paris? You have closer knowledge of this man. Might her presence soften him?
It is possible. He have not laid eyes on her at least 3 months. I should summon her.
Has he struck at you again?
He cannot. He is chained to the wall now. Fetch Goody Proctor to me. Then let you bring him up. Aye.
Excellencies, if you postpone a week and publish to the town that you are striving for their confessions, that speak mercy on your part, not faltering.
Reverend Hale, as God hath not compelled me like Joshua to stop the sun from rising, so I cannot withhold from you the perfection of their punishment.
If you think God wills you to raise rebellion, you
You
are
have heard
mistaken.
rebellion spoken in the town.
Your Honor, there are orphans wandering from house to house. Abandoned cattle bellow on the high roads. The stink of rotting crops hangs everywhere. And no man knows when the harlot's cry will end his life. Do you wonder yet if rebellion spoke? Better you should marvel how that they do not burn your province.
Reverend Hale, have you preached in Andover this month?
Thank God they have no need of me in Andover.
You baffle me, Hale. Why have you returned here?
Why, it is all simple. I have come to do the devil's work. I have come to counsel Christians, should they believe themselves. There is blood on my head. Can you not see the blood on my head?
Goody Proctor, I hope you are hardy.
I am yet 6 months before my time.
Pray be at your ease. We come not for your life.
Reverend Hale, would you speak with the woman?
Goody Proctor, your husband is marked to hang this morning.
I have heard it.
You know, do you not, that I have no connection with the court? I come of my own, Goody Proctor. I would save your husband's life, for if he is condemned, I count myself his murderer. Do you understand me?
What do you want of me?
Goody Proctor, I have gone this 3 months like our Lord into wilderness. I have sought a Christian way, for damnation's doubled on a minister who counsels men to lie.
It is no lie. You cannot speak of
It
lies.
is a lie! They are innocent!
I'll hear no more of that.
Goody Proctor, let you not mistake your duty as I mistook my own. I came into this village bearing gifts of high religion. The very crowns of holy law I brought. And what I touched with my bright confidence, it died. Beware, Goody Proctor, cleave to no faith when faith brings blood. Life, woman, life is God's most precious gift. No principle, however glorious, may justify the taking of it. I beg you, prevail upon your husband to confess. Let him give his lie. Quail not before God's judgment in this, for it may well be he damns a liar, less than he that throws his life away for pride. Will you plead with him? I cannot think he will listen to another.
I think that be the devil's argument.
Woman, before the laws of God, we are as swine. We cannot read his will.
I cannot dispute with you. I lack learning for it.
Goody Proctor, you are not summoned here for disputation.
Be there no wifely tenderness left within you? He will die with the sunrise, your husband. Do you understand it?
What say you? Will you contend with him? Are you stone? I tell you, true woman, had we no other proof of your unnatural life, your dry eyes would be sufficient evidence that you delivered your soul up to hell.
A very goat would weep at such calamity.
Has the devil dried up any tear of pity left within you?
Take her out. It profit nothing she should speak to him.
Excellency, let me speak with him.
You'll strive with him?
I promise nothing. Let me speak with him.
Pray, leave them, excellencies. There is light in the sky, mister. Take counsel with your wife, and may God help you turn your back on hell.
If you desire a cup of cider, miss. I'll lead you now.
The child?
It grows.
There is no word of the boys?
They're well. Rebecca Samuel keeps them.
You've not seen them?
I have not.
You are a marvel, Elizabeth.
You have been tortured?
Aye. They come for my life now.
I know it.
None have yet confessed?
There be many confessed.
Who are they?
There be 100 or more, they say. Goody Ballard is one. Isaiah Goodkind is one. There be many.
Rebecca?
No, not Rebecca. She is 1 foot in heaven now. Naught may hurt her more.
And Giles?
You have not heard it?
I hear nothing where I am kept.
Giles is dead.
When were he hanged?
He were not hanged. He would not answer aye or nay to his indictment, for if he denied the charges, they'd hang him surely and auction out his property. So he stand mute, and died Christian under the law. And so his sons will have his farm.
And how does he die?
They press him, John.
Press?
Great stones they lay upon his chest until he plead aye or nay. They say he give them but 2 words. More weight, he says. And died.
More weight.
Aye. It were a fearsome man, Giles Corey.
I have been thinking I would confess them, Elizabeth. What say you if I give them that?
I cannot judge you, John.
What would you have me do?
As you will, I would have it. I want you living, John, that's sure.
Giles' wife, has she confessed?
She will not.
It is a pretense, Elizabeth.
What is?
I cannot mount a gibbet like a saint. It is a fraud. I am not that man. My honesty is broke.
And yet you've not confessed until now. That speak goodness in you.
I would have your forgiveness, Elizabeth.
It is not for me to give, John.
I'd have you see some honesty in it. Let them that never lied die now to save their souls. For me, it is fraud.
John, it has come to naught that I should forgive you, if you'll not forgive yourself. It is not my soul, John, it is yours. Only be sure of this, for I know it now. Whatever you will do, it is a good man does it. I have read my heart this 3 months, John. I have sins of my own to count. It takes a cold wife to prompt lechery.
Enough!
Better you should know me.
I will not hear it. I know you!
You take my sins upon you, John.
Oh, I take my own!
John, I counted myself so plain, so poorly made, no honest love could come to me. Suspicion kissed you when I did. I never knew how I should show my love. It were a cold house I kept.
What say you, Mr. Proctor? The sun is soon up.
Do what you will, but let none be your judge, for there is no judge higher under heaven than Proctor is. Forgive me, John. I never knew such goodness in the world.
I want my life.
You will confess yourself.
I will have my life.
God be praised. It is providence. He will confess. Proctor will
confess. Why do you cry? It is evil, is it not? It is evil.
I cannot judge you, John.
Then who will judge me? God in heaven. What is John Proctor? What is John Proctor? I think it is honest. I think it's so. I cannot mount the gibbet like a saint, let Rebecca go like a saint.
I cannot judge you, John.
Do as you will. Do as you will.
Would you give them such a lie? Say, would you ever give them this? You would not. If tongues of fire were singeing you, you would not. Good then it is evil and I do it.
Now then, let us have it. Are you ready, Cheever?
Why must it be written?
Why, for the good instruction of the village, this we shall post upon the church door. Where is the marshal?
Marshal, hurry!
Now then, mister, would you speak slowly and directly to the point, for Cheever's sake?
Mr. Proctor, in your life, have you ever seen the devil? Come now, there is light in the sky. The town waits at the scaffold. We should give out this news. Did you see the devil?
I did. Praise God.
And when he come to you, what were his demands?
Did he bid you do his work upon the earth?
He did.
And you bound yourself to his service. Come in, woman.
Oh, John! You are well,
Courage, man, courage. Let her witness your good example that she may come to God herself. Now, hear it, goody nurse. Say on, Mr. Proctor. Did you bind yourself to the devil's service?
Why, John!
I did.
Now, woman, you surely see it profit nothing to keep this conspiracy any further. Will you confess yourself with him?
Oh, John. God send mercy on you.
I say, will you confess yourself, goody nurse?
Why, it is a lie. It is a lie. How may I damn myself? I cannot.
Mr. Proctor, when the devil come to you, did you ever see Rebecca nurse in his company? Come then, take courage. Did you ever see this woman with the devil?
No.
Did you ever see her sister, Mary Eastie, with the devil?
No, I did not.
Did you see Martha Corey with the devil?
I did not.
Did you ever see anyone with
I
the
did
devil?
not.
You must surely have seen some person with the devil. Mr. Proctor, a score of people have already testified they saw this woman with the devil.
Well, then it is proven. Why must I say it?
Why must you say it? Why, you should rejoice to say it if your soul is truly purged of any love for hell.
They think to go like saints. I like not spoil their names.
Mr. Proctor, do you think they go like saints?
This woman never thought she'd done the devil's work.
To your knowledge, has Rebecca Nurse
I
ever...
speak my own sins. I cannot judge another. I have no tongue for it.
Excellencies, it is enough. He confessed. Let him sign it.
It is a great service. It is a weighty name. It will strike the village that Proctor confess. I beg you, let him sign it. The sun is up, Excellency.
Come then, sign your testimony. Give it to him.
Come, sign it.
You've all witnessed it. It is enough.
You will not sign it?
You've all witnessed it. What more is needed?
Mr. Proctor, your signature is needed.
Oh, praise be to the Lord.
Mr. Proctor, if you please.
No.
Mr. Proctor,
No, I have signed it. You have seen me. It is damn the village. I confess to God, and God has seen my name on this. It is enough.
No, sir, it is not enough.
You came to save my soul, did you not? Here, I have confessed myself. It is enough.
You have not confessed
I have
yourself.
confessed myself. Is there no repentance but to be public? God does not need my name nailed upon the church. God sees my name. God knows how black my sins are. It is enough.
Mr. Proctor, I
You
must
will not
have
use me. I am John Proctor. I am no Sarah Good or Tituba. You will not use me. It is no part of salvation that you should use me.
We do not mean to use you.
I have 3 children. How may I teach them to walk like men in the world when I have sold my friends?
You have not sold your
Beguile me
friends.
not. I blacken them all when this is nailed to the church, the very day they hang for silence.
Mr. Proctor, I don't understand why you cannot give me the
You are
truth.
the High Court. Your word is good enough. Say Proctor broke his knees and wept like a baby. Say what you will, but
It is
my
the
name-
same, is it not, if we report it or you sign to it?
No, what others say and what I signed to is not the same.
Why? Do you mean to deny this confession when you are free?
I mean to deny nothing.
Then explain to me, Mr. Proctor, why do you not...
Because it is my name. Because I cannot have another in my life. Because I lie and sign myself to lies. Because I am not worth the dust on the feet of them that hang. How may I live without my name? I have given you my soul, leave me my name.
Is that document a lie? If it is a lie, we cannot accept it.
What say you?
I cannot deal in lies, mister. You will give us your good and honest confession in hand, or I cannot keep you from the rope. Which way do you go, mister? Go!
Proctor!
Man, you will hang, you cannot!
I can! And there's your first marvel that I can. You've made your magic, but now I do think I see a shred of goodness in John Croft. Give him no tear. Tears of pleasure then. Show honor now. Show a stony heart and sink them with it.
Let you fear nothing. Another judgment awaits us all.
Proctor, don't let him, there's yet time!
Hang them high over the town!
Who
wins for these weak bugger woman? Plead with him! Woman, it is pride. It is his vanity. Be his helper. What profit him to bleed? Shall the dust praise him? Shall the words declare his truth? Go to him. Take his shame away. Please, woman. We have his goodness now. God forbid I take it from him.
More and more accused people refuse to give false confessions. After 19 executions, the Salem witch hunt ended. The entire hysteria lasted about 3 months in the summer of 1692. The power of fear and hysteria can change an entire community. Truth is the remedy. Be part of the solution. Everything we are is at every moment